I'm a businesswoman. I had a
Hmm.
really clear job to do when I
Yeah.
took over Bud Light. And it was this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this super clear mandate. It's like we need
Hmm.
to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And my what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men.
Hmm.
And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor. And it was really important that we had another approach.
That, my friends, is what we call the face of failure, the face of woke failure. As you saw, it was all supposed to be about evolving and elevating. And that means inclusivity. You really get a window into the liberal hive mind, don't you? They go to these universities, they get brainwashed with all this absurd woke ideology, and then they destroy everything they touch. And they do it all in the name of supposedly evolving and elevating. But of course, the joke's on them. As it turns out, the world is rejecting this woke illusion of evolution and elevation. And that marketing VP, Alyssa Heinerscheid, has just learned that lesson the hard way. It's being widely reported that she, along with her associate, have officially been fired from Anheuser-Busch for their absolute destruction of the Bud Light brand with their Dylan Mulvaney trans marketing campaign. According to a report from the Daily Caller, Group VP for Marketing Daniel Blake and Bud Light Marketing VP Alyssa Heinerscheid have indeed been fired after initially being placed on a leave of absence a few months back. This according to an anonymous source. Now, as it turns out, again, according to the source, this leave of absence that they were placed on was actually an effective firing, but it was framed as a leave of absence so as to avoid potential lawsuits. But according to this report, distributors have been assured that Heinerscheid and all those responsible for the disastrous woke marketing campaign are indeed gone for good. They are not coming back. Now, that terminological distinction may be the reason why Bud Light has issued a denial that Heinerscheid has been fired. They're actually denying the report, affirming that she and her colleagues are both on a, quote, leave of absence, as if that's going to help sales. Needless to say, I think everyone involved here sees what's going on. Bud Light has clearly dumped this woke marketing executive. There's no way on planet Earth she's going to be let back in. Yeah, I'd be curious if she was responsible, or at least her influence was responsible for Bud Light's recent sponsorship of a pride parade in Toronto, Canada. That's right. You would think that they would be the last one to be sponsoring an event like that. Maybe it fell through the proverbial cracks, as it were, but it was a parade that reportedly featured nudity and, of course, children. And as it turns out, Bud Light. And so it's no surprise that their sales continue to tank. Sales were down 28.5% for the week ending June 17th compared to the same time period last year. This according to Nielsen IQ. That's even worse than the 26.8% decline Bud Light suffered last week. Reports are coming in by the boatloads that bars across the nation are either refusing to serve Bud Light or seeing sales drop dramatically among their customers. And this is happening at the same time that sales for Bud Light's competitors are through the roof. Yuengling Lager's up 25%, Miller Lite is up 16%, Coors Light is up 22%. And to add insult to injury, Bud Light, of course, has just been knocked off from their number one spot, which is now occupied by Modelo. So what is Bud Light doing in response to all of this besides firing their disastrous marketing VP? Well, you're not going to believe this. But first, gang, as you probably know, a number of financial experts are predicting that things are about to blow. The economy is sputtering out of control, and you need to prepare now for the economic catastrophe that may indeed be right around the corner. And all of that means that there's simply never been a better time to protect your precious assets than with the timeless value of gold and silver. And that, gang, is where our good friends over at Goldco come in. Click on that link below. Learn the 3 simple steps you can take right now to protect your savings the way patriots throughout the centuries have always protected their assets, and that's with the timeless value of gold and silver. In fact, Goldco, gang, they're patriots just like you and me. They're offering up to $10,000 in free silver while supply lasts. So don't wait. Click on that link below or visit my special website, turleytalkslikesgold.com. Bud Light is now officially so desperate that they're actually giving away beer. You can't make this stuff up. For the 4th of July weekend, Bud Light is offering $15 rebates in a desperate attempt at jump-starting their brand. Now, the bizarre thing here is they've already tried this. They did this back on Memorial Day weekend, but it didn't work. Nobody wants it. They don't even want it if it's literally being handed to them, given away. Again, we have reports that bartenders are now complaining that no one wants Bud Light anymore at their private events. The Daily Mail recently conducted a number of interviews with bartenders who, of course, play a crucial role as a point of sale on the Bud Light distribution chain. And according to these bartenders, nobody wants Bud Light anymore, especially for their private events. Instead, customers who previously enjoyed Bud Light at their events are now seeking alternatives, as we can see with the surging sales for Coors Light, Miller Lite, and the like. And here's the key in all of this. The bartenders that the Daily Mail interviewed all said that as far as they're concerned, there's no way Bud Light rebounds from this without acknowledging precisely how much they offended the values of their customers. So from an analytical perspective, we're seeing here a combination of boycotts and boycotts, which are both central to the whole notion of consumer politics, where consumers are increasingly voting with their wallets, as it were. Boycotts refuse to buy from companies that offend our values, while boycotts are deliberate purchases from companies that defend, or at the very least, refrain from offending our values. That's what we're seeing with Modelo. Modelo experienced a remarkable 15% surge in sales, which knocked Bud Light off the top spot. Bud Light has been dethroned as the king of beers by a combination of boycotts and boycotts. The boycotting of their own brand and the boycotting of its competitors. So this woke marketing fiasco was a disaster in every conceivable fashion. I'm just shocked that it took Bud Light this long to acknowledge that this marketing VP get the boot. But unfortunately for Bud Light, I think it's all too little, too late. Even giving away free beer is not going to save this company. They will forever be the textbook case of the fundamental law of the universe. Go woke, go broke. Hey gang, I know what it's like to feel alone out there in these turbulent times, but I broke free. If you too have been looking for a community with like-minded patriots who are serious about resisting globalism, building a parallel economy, and having intelligent and deep fellowship on a regular basis, then you've come to the right place. In my Courageous Patriot Insiders community, we're building a close-knit movement of, by, and for patriots who are breaking free from the outrage and despair cycles of the mainstream media and taking on the fight against globalism. Every week, I deep dive into the content I can't share on big tech and give you the cliff notes on the truth of how patriots just like you are building up their communities, starting patriot businesses, and fighting the woke in both public and private. All with a few history and political lessons from yours truly, of course. If you want to stop feeling alone as a patriot and stand together with this fast-growing community, be sure to click on the link in the description below. Don't wait. Join me and my Patriot Coalition today, and let's get fighting.